And we are live. Greetings, friends. Happy Friday. On Fridays, we free roam, unless it is, of course, the Bad Honor full game commentary and playthrough, which is where we are now. Channel moderator Miko Herptal says, hello, Super Antonio, Sadie, mods, and everyone. Greetings, Miko. Appreciate you being here early. I hope you're having a Hope you had a good week, and I hope you're having a good weekend. Peter Walsdorf says, happy Friday, everyone, and asks if everyone is ready for Thanksgiving. I hope you are. I, regrettably, am not. It will probably be a quiet Thanksgiving, just me and the dog. So I don't know if we'll really do anything special. I do have, I've got a bunch of relatives, and I have, standing open invitations on both sides of my family. I've got aunties on both sides that are more than willing to have me come over and share in their Thanksgiving with their family and their extended family. But I don't like to push in. It's just me and the dog. Yeah. Not really sure what I'm going to do this Thanksgiving. Sam Harrison says hello, everyone, and Super Antonio. Greetings, Sam. Happy Friday to you. And happy Thanksgiving.
I found something interesting.
I'm not much of a cook, I like to eat. Who doesn't like to eat? But yeah, I'm not really much of a cook. And
what's the problem with stagecoaches?
And I don't love turkey. I love the tradition of Thanksgiving, of course, and I certainly enjoyed celebrating it with family and friends. But yeah, it's just gonna, I don't like pushing in. I don't like being a third wheel. I don't like being on my own. In a group of other people's family, even though I'm basically related to them. But I just, I don't like being an outsider, I guess. If that makes any sense. So it's just much easier for me just to hang out with the dog and pretend it's another day. But we will get some pumpkin pie, because I do love pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie with vanilla ice cream. It's one of my favorites. Miko says, hey to Peter and Sam, and Peter says, hi, Sam. Tonight we're doing 3 missions, starting with this one. We're helping Josiah out. We get a lock breaker from it. Be about 20 minutes each. A little bit
I had quite a nice little business going for a while.
Not truncated. We're not speed running them, but we do go through them with I suppose a maximum amount of efficiency. This is not the first time we have played this game. Regrettably, we have been here before, and we'll be here again.
Each to their strengths, dear boy. You boys should really watch yourselves with those 2 families. This is
Saw an interesting movie last night. I'm not sure if I like it or not. And it was relatively modern. I think it's from like 2020 or 2021, starring Mark Wahlberg. It was called Infinite, and it was kind of like The Matrix. Kind of like there was a movie with Angelina Jolie called Wanted. But it's about the secret society of reincarnated people who remember all of their previous lives and all of their previous skills. So, of course, they can fight, and bend time and alter reality. And, they can pick up a samurai sword and immediately know what to do with it because, they can remember their past lives as samurai masters. But Mark Wahlberg is one of these guys, and he has been diagnosed as schizophrenic for most of his life. So he's been suppressing his memories and not believing them. And he gets caught up in the war between the Infinites, because there's 2 factions, of course. And it was directed by Antoine Fuqua, who I kind of like. He directed Training Day. And I don't know how I feel about it. It's like, I think, honestly, Mark Wahlberg is a perfectly capable actor, but he's about 10 years too old for the role. It reminded me a lot of The Matrix. You could have argued that Keanu was a little too old for the role in 1999, but, Keanu looked like he was in his 20s in 1999, Asian. And really, you needed someone in their
They often are. But how's work?
in their 20s or even 30s, then Mark Wahlberg is in great shape, but he looks his age.
They've been
It
saying
just,
that
it
nonsense since they
was not the
invented
role
wheel.
for him,
The
I think.
weakness of
But
bosses.
it was okay. I mean, I watched it all the way through. I didn't check out. I didn't
A
watch
discouraged
half and
man
then
is
finish
no
the
man
plot
at
on
all,
Wikipedia and
no
move on.
man
Let's
at
move on.
all.
Yeah, so
My
I
friend
kind of liked
Arthur
it.
here
Fighting was
has a present
okay.
for you.
I just think it could have been so much more, so much better. There's a letter here to Arthur's right that I wanted to read, but we couldn't really
Call
get
him
a
Arthur.
closer view on it.
He's one of
Sadie,
us, a fellow man
poor
of
girl,
distinction.
is tired
Well,
and
this is
hungry.
perfect timing.
I don't
I think
feed
you'll
her
like
enough.
this one, Josiah. It'll be
Tells
going
everyone to
south
like
down
and
the
subscribe,
river
but she
through
pretty much
Siltwater
just wants to
Stream.
Thank you all.
settle down for the
Thank
night.
you very much.
Oh, and
Enjoy her
Josiah,
November
if you or
nap,
Arthur
her
are ever out
pre-
Strawberry Way,
her pre
ask for my
her
colleague
pre-sleep
there.
nap.
They're called Hector. He's also one of the, what did you call us again?
Pre-gaming for the main event.
That's it, discouraged.
There she is.
men.
She
I
just
like
moved on to
that.
her crate.
Goodbye, Alden, or should I say, adieu?
Oh, adieu, Josiah.
Oh, and then I saw a movie that I absolutely loved called Abigail, and it's about this group of and it's also a modern movie. It's about this group of well, the caption or the description that I read, it was on Amazon Prime, was like something like a group of high-tech thieves kidnap a 12-year-old girl and find out she's a vampire. And and really all he had to say was ballerina vampire, and I was into it. And yeah, she's a ballerina. She's 12 years old. She's super cute. She's got like a pink fur coat on. And the gang thinks like she's the daughter of some like Russian oligarch or something. So they kidnap her, and then guess what? Her name is Abigail, and she's a vampire. Miko says, a snack before a nap. Sadie's living the life. Well, yeah, it's a dog's life. She's happy, Miko. Yeah, it was great. And her dad's a vampire, too. And it kind of, it's like a horror comedy. And so, yeah, it was, it was goofy. It was funny. It reminded me a lot of Renfield with Nicolas Cage. But it didn't have Aquafina. The Aquafina always seems forced to me, and this comedy was very, it was very natural. It was just very gruesome. There was a lot of bloody scenes. The little girl swears. I didn't like that, but she's not really a little girl. She's like 300 years old. And it also kind of reminded me of The Usual Suspects, but I want you to see it, so I can't really tell you why. But I also enjoyed, I love The Usual Suspects. Anyways, yeah, I love that movie. I want to get that movie on Blu-ray. I need a copy of that movie. But but Infinite, Mark Wahlberg. But I don't know if I've ever seen a Mark Wahlberg movie that I've loved. Can't think of one right now. He's not like a go-to actor of mine. He's not a favorite. And Miko, he's a little, he has a history of being racist to Asians, and I know people are allowed to change and you're allowed to make mistakes in your past. But it's hard not to take that personally. Just things he said in his 20s, and he might have like gotten in trouble with like there might be an assault charge against Vietnamese in Boston. I never really looked it up. so I might just be making that up, but and slandering him.
I'll put on a little
And
performance,
if so,
you
I
can
apologize.
scurry
But
around,
my whole
open the
life,
strong box,
all my
and leave
cousins
them
and
all goodies.
I've always said he's racist to Asians, so I was like, okay, that's enough for me.
This should work.
But I'm not sure if that's true.
Well, I'm hoping complete silence won't be necessary. But you're going to wish you had your earplugs. This is Damson. Oh,
And he
very
was
good old and very good.
about 10 years
Of
too
course,
old
if
for the
anything goes
role.
wrong, you can wave your guns around like you normally do. Hold tight. They'll be here soon.
That's one of the things I like about Tulsa King with Stallone, who's 78. And, you know, like, they made his character that age. You know, it's like he spent, like, you know, more than half of his life in prison. And he gets out of prison and has to, like, rebuild his mob empire. And he sleeps with a DEA agent. No, yeah, she's not DEA. She's BATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. And she's in her, like, mid-40s, I'd say. And it's like a drunken hookup. And so the next day she asks how old she is, and when she finds out, she freaks out. And she goes, "I thought you were a hard 58." And yeah, if you squint and and you're drunk, and it's in the dark, smoky bar, yeah, he kind of looks like a hard 58, but also it explains his physique. All he's been doing for the past 20 years is working out in prison. Miko says, maybe it was a learned behavior. Well, yeah, he was from Boston. But, I don't know. I don't know, Miko. It is an unsubstantiated rumor that cousins have told me. Miss Chester Damson. I like this mission because you get to spend time with Josiah. It's not really, it's a quiet mission. It's a stealth mission, and it's like the quiet before the storm. And storms are coming because right after this, we're going to hang out with Colm, and right after that, we're going to take a walk into town with Bill, Micah, and Sean. What's that about?
Could you? It's such a small show, but would you see something for me? I'm looking for him.
So yeah, I took the week off, pretty much. Though I did work on some videos, which I'll tell you about, and just watched a bunch of TV, a bunch of movies. Just took it easy. Just kind of pretended I lived a normal life. Whatever that is. But yeah, the ambient horse videos are doing better than anticipated, and that's nice. So I did one with Boadicea, and that's doing quite well. And we're going to do a Baylock one next. I was working on that this morning, and I was working on it a little bit before the stream. We just do the same thing. We just kind of ride around the map and not necessarily get into adventures, but not really avoid them if they come up. And yeah, I mean, there's no reason why we shouldn't do it with every horse. I'm doing the rare ones, the ones that we can't really get. Probably do the Piebald Tobiano after Baylock.
I can't say enough. Mrs.
Or maybe the reverse dapple.
Magnifico.
Maybe both.
So sorry, gentlemen, for the interruption.
But yeah, we just ride around for 90 minutes to 2 hours and put it up, and everyone seems happy. I mean, it's getting views. That's nice. If the views would come back. Come back, views.
Well done, sir. Well done.
It was easy. You did all the work.
Teamwork, my dear boy. Teamwork.
Here you go.
Thank
Made a
you.
little money.
Oh, it's always good. Go see Alden from time
Look
to
at
time.
Josiah's tie pin.
See you soon, Arthur.
He's a dapper gentleman. He's fancy. Showing your suspenders in 1899, like Arthur does here, is the height of bad manners. So of course, Arthur's going to do it for the bad honor playthrough. Got some bounty hunters on our tail, and I don't really feel like dealing with them, so we're just going to move on. Let's move on.
Got any more opera singers for me to rob?
How are you, Arthur?
Oh.
Chester Damson had her debut in New York. She says the critics were unkind, which is a very genteel way of saying she bombed. I like saying the algorithm is unkind. Interestingly enough, speaking of algorithm, our last Grand Theft Auto live stream did not get demonetized. What's that about? Then we'll do a an LA Noire live stream tomorrow. Sam Harrison says, how's Super Antonio doing this week? He's doing quite well, Sam. Appreciate you asking. How are you doing? What's next on LA Noire? A silk stocking. Still in homicide. But I believe for this one, hold on, let me check. Scrolling through the mission real fast. Nope. No, it's the one after that. She's still, there's a lot of naked bits in that one. It's the one after that is where we finally get a clothed victim. Mama 1 and Papa 1 are here. Papa 1 says, hey guys, and Mama 1 says, hey family. Greetings, Mama 1 and Papa 1. Happy Friday. Sam says, how's Sadie? She's fine. She's in her crate, which is in front of the desk. I'll bring her back for you and Mama 1 and Papa 1. Come back here. She's taking her pre-nap, her pre-evening sleep nap. Say hi to Mama 1 and Papa 1 and Sam. Tell everyone to like and subscribe.
Who's that?
And wish them a happy Thanksgiving.
Good to see you back.
Mama 1 says, hey Miko, and so does Papa 1. Mama 1 and Papa 1, I'm glad you made it through the week. Hope you have a good weekend planned. I know you still, there's no such thing as a weekend on the ranch. On Ranch 1, let's call it. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Appreciate you. Let's move on, and we're not going to be able to play dominoes with Miss Tilly, I'm afraid. Though we should do it just to get that request. Maybe, no, we can't. We've missed that opportunity. Maybe he'll come back again in Chapter 4.
I'm not sure all that
Doubtful,
line of thought serves you
but
and me
maybe.
very well.
That's because Cowpoke, you are
David
a man of
V,
profoundly
channel member
limited
and channel
intelligence.
moderator,
Well, you,
is
the
here
old
and says,
man
howdy
Dutch,
folks,
been
greetings
running
David.
around,
Appreciate
digging
you,
us
friend.
ever deeper
Glad
into
you're here.
shit. Old Mr. Pearson
Happy
might have
Friday
gone and
and happy
lightened the load a little.
Pre-Thanksgiving to you.
Curious.
Mom 1 says,
Yes,
hey David.
gentlemen.
And
Dutch,
Sadie says, hey
you
David.
tell him, fat man.
Sadie says, hey
It's
Mr.
Dutch.
David.
The O'Driscolls. I mean,
Papa 1
there's
says,
a way.
Sam, we are
What
just
are you talking about?
relaxing
Get the words
after
out
a long
properly,
day.
fat man.
I met a couple
David
of
says,
the
there he is, and
O'Driscoll
Miko says,
rode into
hello to
town.
David and
Things were
Chrissy.
about to get ugly. But you know how I am in a fight, huh?
Red 2 says, hi, greetings Red 2. He's a cornered tiger,
Anyway,
Mr. Pearson. I
somehow
love that comb over
we
of
got to
his.
talking, and they suggested a parlay to end things like gentlemen.
Gentle. Colm O'Driscoll. Have
He's got
lost
some
your
pomade.
Always tell
Also,
us,
Mr.
Dutch,
Pearson is
do what
showing
has
his
to be done,
his
but
suspenders.
don't
Again,
fight wars
the
ain't
height of bad manners in 1899. Mama one says, yes, Super Antonio, but every day at Ranch 1 is a day in paradise. I agree, Mama one. I know exactly what you mean. Channel member Dan Constantin Popescu says, hello, sir. Hello, sirs. Greetings, Dan. Appreciate you being here. I hope it's not past your bedtime. Happy Friday to you.
I killed Colm's brother. Long time ago.
And Dan, what's happening in your country? I hear you're being arrested for mean tweets.
A woman I love dear.
You're not allowed to make fun of people's appearances. What's that about?
It's a long time.
You got to vote these people out of office, Dan. You got to take your country back.
Let's go. You and me, with Arthur protecting us, no one...
David says, hiya, Dan. And David says, I am brother. I hope you are well, my friend. Hosea didn't even look up from his newspaper. It's a trap. Miko says, rescued Bill from the bounty hunters last night during the skirmish. Boaz ran into their campfire and died. I lost honor. Why is that my fault? LOL. Yes, the game blames you. The game will always blame you. It's always your fault, Miko. Yeah, that's a tragedy. Miko says, hey to Dan, and Mama one says, when I first played it, was this mission that made me realize how manipulative Micah is. Even Dutch didn't believe it. John and Arthur should have dealt with him after this. Yeah, but John and Arthur still believed in the gang. Dan says, just woke up in time to go to work. Yep, it is true. We can't say nout these days now. And Papa one says, what country is this, Dan? Papa one, Dan is in the UK. Same as Colm, but further south. And yeah, they're well, they, you know, there's no such thing, you know, it's like America's unique. The First Amendment is unique, freedom of speech. And we take it for granted that it is an inalienable God-given right, but it doesn't exist in most of the other countries. And they are cracking down hard all over Europe. I also read that there was somebody in Germany got seriously arrested, had to do jail time, months, but still, you know, jail time for calling a politician fat, which I believe in German is grosse. So if you call someone fatty McFatty, and you know, I'm not talking about anyone specific, but you can get arrested. Whereas, you know, like number 47, you know, he's not svelte, but and he's kind of funny looking. His shape is kind of funny looking. However, you know, I was pointing out, my nephew was pointing that out to me because he's really getting into you know, taking care of himself, and you know, it's one of the things we bond over is diet and exercise, and he always wants me to analyze other people's physiques and who's on special medicine, who's natural, etc., etc. But he was talking about 47's waistline. I said, yes, he's not in great shape. However, most of that I believe is body armor. I believe he's got like body armor on and then kind of like some John Wick Kevlar suit. You know, it's not like a natural suit. The suit doesn't fall correctly. So he's got like body armor, plates, and then he's got like some kind of bespoke Kevlar suit like you wear it, like John Wick wears, except John Wicks are so much cooler. I was going to dress up for the streams. I'm not in. What happened to that? Didn't someone snoring? Papa One says First Amendment is worthless without our beloved Second Amendment. Yes, indeed, Papa One. And Papa One says what's funny though is in America they tried to take away your First Amendment on social media. Yeah, they get around it because it's a privately run company. Mostly, it's like it's not. But they're committed to it on X, and you should follow me on X Twitter because if we get to 500 followers, we can monetize. Dominic says, hello, everyone. Greetings, Dominic. And David says, hi, Dom. And then we can divert that income stream towards the PS5 fund. Because regrettably, I will have to get a new phone before I get a PS5. My phone, if I unplug my phone, it'll like instantly drain to 9%. So embarrassing. But, I put it off for as long as I could. I hate buying new phones. And, it's not like I'll, I don't like to get it through a carrier because, I want to own it outright. And I don't want to spend $50 a month. I'd rather spend, $1,000 and then just own it. Sam says, Super Antonio, any advice on starting my own channel? How bad is editing? It depends on how much you love computers in the game. There's a learning curve to editing. But, I don't think it's bad. I think it's fun. As far as starting a channel, I would say
Which one?
copy the most successful channel you watch. The one with the most followers. And also, what is your goal? Do you want income from it? Do you just want a hobby? Do you have something important to say about the game? I assume it's a video game channel.
Why didn't you take it?
The main reason I started this channel is because I felt I had something important to say about the game.
About your brother.
And I wanted to present the game in a way that wasn't being presented at the time. Let's see. Also, whatever you do, be passionate about it. People like passion, like intensity and just be passionate about your subject. I love watching collection videos of, it's like someone could, can collect anything, but if they're passionate and obsessive about it, I'll be happy to watch because I'm attracted to just their feelings on it. And humans are like, humans like feelings. Humans like passion. So try to find something you're passionate about. I know that sounds kind of vague. In addition, have fun doing it. Don't do it if you don't think you can have fun. Dan says, Mama One, I live in South Yorkshire. Isn't that where Downton Abbey is? In Yorkshire, Dan? Do you know Lady Mary? She's a little snobby, but she's kind of cute. She has a very posh accent. Cloudy's here. Cloudy says, howdy, y'all. Greetings, Cloudy. Happy Friday. Mama One says, I can imagine in British prisons you could be cellmates with the Yorkshire Ripper. When they asked what you are in for, I said, oh, I called someone ugly on Twitter, LOL. And Sam says, I've heard of 5-hour editing slugs. It depends on what you're doing, Sam.
Finally. His weapons over there.
But there, I don't. Let's see. For a 20-minute video, I would assume, for me personally, I put at least 3 times an hour, 60 minutes into that. for production, not counting like getting the actual footage, playing the game. So let's put another hour. Yeah, so for like 20 minutes, it's probably 2 hours of like raw labor.
Hardly feel it. You will.
Cloudy says the best way to get a following is to join a community like fight games or card games. That's true, Cloudy. Mama One says, is that near Leeds, Dan? I'm very limited on English maps. O-Dog is here. Greetings, O-Dog. And Mama One says, hey, O-Dog. O-Dog says, howdy, Mama Papa One.
You killed a whole bunch of my boys.
Mama One says, most I know of Yorkshire is true crime, Dan. I am obsessed with the Ripper. And Jimmy Savile.
Preach true.
Sam says, I enjoy playing video games and streaming seems like fun, but if you have any advice on how to start, microphone, computer, camera, any advice will help. Sam, start with whatever you have available. Don't invest any money at first. So if you don't have it, don't do it. Like I started, not with this phone. I think I didn't have a microphone, and I knew I wanted to do voiceovers on my videos, so I would like record myself, and then I would email it. I'd email the recording to myself, and download that and drop them into videos. That's why my my first videos sound not great. They sound unkind, and they just got better and better from there. I just started upgrading, my mics. I was very happy when I finally got a Yeti mic, which also sounds horrible. This mic that we have here is a state-of-the-art broadcast mic. It's the Electro Voice E320, and it's about $400. It's between $400 and $500. But I sound great on this mic. It's a beautiful mic. It's the mic they use on CNN and NPR. But, I had to work up to this mic. So, use what you have. Use what's available. Like every computer and laptop has a camera on it. So just use that. O-Dog says, sup, Super Antonio. I'm great, O-Dog, especially now that you are here. And how are you, my friend? And Papa One says, hey, O-Dog, glad you made it, brother. And Cloudy says, howdy, O-Dog. Miko also says, hey, O-Dog, look how popular you are, O-Dog. And Dan says, yes, near Leeds and Manchester. Manchester, where Morrissey and Joy Division are from. Two of my favorite bands. Every day is like Sunday. Dan says, I got to go. Have a great and blessed weekend. You as well, Dan. Thanks for checking in. Appreciate you, friend. We got a Baylock video coming up, so you can look for that. O-Dog says, playing football. Been okay? Yeah, I've been okay. Maybe a little sentimental about Thanksgiving and, wondering what to do about it. I've been decorating, working on my postcard collection, watching a bunch of movies.
What the hell?
Papa One says, when Colm tells Arthur to join him and make some real money, how? When Colm has like 600,000 away split for any score the gang takes. A fine gun like you. That's Dutch's famous charisma. Yeah, but it's not like Colm splitting with those guys. And, he goes through them like cigars. But I'm sure if he had switched sides with Colm, he'd be like in a Micah position. He would be in, he would be in Colm's inner circle. Dan says, okay, I will watch the video. And Mom One says, do you have plan on cutting Arthur's hair? Yeah, I was thinking it's looking a little scraggly, a little like a, dirty commie hippie. Not allowed to say that in the UK. So yeah, at some point we'll get him a haircut. Sam says, I have a small Twitch channel, but I have no idea what I'm doing, but thanks for the help. Yeah, you just nobody knows what they're doing at first, Sam. You just kind of jump in and start. and see where it takes you. That's part of the fun of the channel for you, is the growth. But yeah, nobody starts with 100,000 viewers or the requisite skills. And even like the legacy media people that try to start channels and fail miserably. Who's that Captain Marvel girl that nobody likes? Brie Larson. She had a YouTube channel for a while during COVID. That did not do well. That is not our horse. Note, we recovered our weapons. If you do not recover your weapons, where's our horse? If you do not recover your weapons, the gang will buy you new weapons. I suppose we could have whistled, but we didn't. Cloudy says, what's the most rarest stamp? No, postcard collection. Cloudy, not stamps. Postcards. I just put them up on the walls. But I don't... I collect... I've never really gotten into stamps. I can understand the appeal. Because my nephew was collecting coins for a bit. But no, I collect... I collect watches and postcards, movie posters, and action figures, vinyl records, a little bit. Micah says, hello, do you still watch Chicago Fire? No, I do not, Micah. It got too, it just got too unrealistic for me. When, God, what? Now I have to look. The Girlfriend. Chicago Fire. Hold on, I've got it. I can't remember the characters' names. Okay, Kelly's girlfriend. Stella Kid. Oh, Stella, yeah. She just got so... I mean, it seemed to me like they were trying to make her the lead, and then there was one line where she complained to Taylor that she wasn't white and she didn't have a father who was a chief. So her struggle to become lieutenant was more relevant, I guess. And, at that point, it just started getting annoying to me. But yeah, the first, I would say the first 4 or 5 seasons with the rivalry between Matthew and Kelly, I loved it. I was all in. And I loved how it dovetailed and connected with the other, with Chicago Hope and Chicago PD. But yeah, it just got too, I guess I can say woke. Got too woke. But Arthur. Everything is woke.
Arthur?
And 45 and 47, to quote 47, you did say everything woke turns to something that rhymes with mitt.
Miss Grimshaw, I need help. Reverend Swanson. He's gonna set the law on earth. Oh, of course.
Papa One says, sorry, sharing a little too much. It's hard for me not to think that way. I keep a short haircut since 1967. And Sam says, yeah, but she doesn't count because 75% of her audience were bots. Yes, Sam, talking about Bree. Yeah, so it's harder. It's hard for everyone to start, even if you have skills. Because your skills do not translate to a YouTube channel and to social media.
You're home.
Whatever skills you bring, it's a whole different beast. Sam asks, is anyone watching the new Billy Bob Thornton show called Landman? I've heard of it. I've heard great things about it. And there's the Bad Honor Coyote. Should really be a Bad Honor Wolf, I think. But apparently it's a coyote. Mama one says, I've always wondered if horse... Miko says, here I'm impressed the horse knew where to go home to camp. Take me home, boy. And Mama one says, I always wondered if horse bonding matters if the horse gets you home. In real life, it would. A trained horse will take you home. A random horse will take you anywhere else but home.
Take care of yourself. You too.
Odog says, that's not what woke means. And don't be like that. Okay, Odog, I won't be like that. Micah says, oh, I see. In the newest episode, Joe Cruz's past from the first season comes back to haunt him. Joe Cruz. I like Joe Cruz. I'm glad he's still around. And Miko says, that's why we have a saying called horse sense. Joe Cruz married that lady. And that was nice. I mean, yeah, the little romances that that developed with Trudy and that other guy, and you know, that guy's bar. Yeah, I did like it, but it just got too unrealistic. Also, I was doing I did a Reddit deep dive on how accurate are the fires and in the fireplace, the fireman scenes in Chicago Fire, and actual firemen were like commenting that the masks are all full face, so you can see the actors, and they say that no real fireman would wear a mask like that. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You know, the masks are like, you know, spaceman masks. They're completely wrong. But I thought that was funny. Yeah, I was always impressed with the fire pyrotechnics in Chicago Fire.
Kane. His name is Kane.
Okay. Hey, Kane. Whoa. What did Kane do?
A real bad thing. So he never stopped wandering.
Arthur! A dog! A dog!
Odog, I apologize, and I don't mean to upset you, but I just don't like it in the media. I don't like entertainment that lectures you. You know, I don't want to be lectured. I just want to be told an interesting story. But that's the last I'll say of it. Someone is snoring. Now it's time to go see Bill. Let's see what Bill wants. I've always liked the gold. They've got like they've got those gold accents on the it's a very fancy
Been waiting for you, Arthur.
bank,
I'm
which we will
sorry
be
to have
robbing
kept you.
in chapter
Let's
4.
get going.
What's the plan?
We're meeting a couple of the Greys. over
Micah
at the
says
saloon.
Chicago Fire now seems more like a sitcom. I feel like there's less rescues and more personal problems. Yeah, it was heading in that direction. It was
Stay in with them, and they're paying.
you know, but I always thought at first it had a good balance of drama, or like of like, you know, drama and relationships and action, which I assumed was so that both, you know, so that couples would enjoy it, both males and females. But yeah, it seems to be getting way more relationshipy towards the end. Mr. Maddie says, howdy folks, Super Antonio, will you be playing the new Bethesda Indiana Jones game? I didn't even know it was out, Mr. Maddie.
We're stuck in the middle of some ancient feud.
Bethesda Indiana Jones.
Were being used by both of them.
They were saying the Catherine Braithwaite.
Hey, hold up. This don't.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
I could have told you.
Set between the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, The story follows archaeologist Indiana Jones in 1937. I like that part, as he attempts to thwart various groups who are seeking to harness his power connected to the Great Circle. It's on PS5. And it is coming out December 9th. That's exciting, Mr. Maddie. Miko says, and here we go, the beginning and the end of the gang, where everything goes too well, you know. Yeah. We get different dialogue at the end of this. You know, Arthur, you know, a good honor Arthur is way more affectionate about Sean's death than a bad honor Arthur, which I will show you. We could grab that gun if we need it. We've got plenty of guns, and I meant to kick the door, and instead we took a lot of hits because we had to use the lock breaker. Micah says if you go to Rhodes before this mission, you can tell something big was going to happen because the town is almost empty when he sees. And Sam says, how do you feel about the first-person shooter game, Super Antonio? I'm terrible at them, but the new Sniper Elite looks good. I don't love first-person FPS. I mean, I was so excited about Cyberpunk 2077 until I realized it was going to be first-person. Third-person to me is more cinematic. It's easier for me to control. I think it makes better videos, you know, for the channel. But yeah, some people love first-person. It's very dizzying for me and confusing. And you know, it's like we don't walk around like this all the time, you know. And so I don't think they have it's like the perspectives are off for me personally. But Mom once says, I love how the Greys casually left Arthur a double-barrel shotgun. Yeah, if you want. I think that's just if you know, and that horse was already sleeping when we got here. We had nothing to do with that horse, and we're going to try to revive her. But we were too late. But that's not us. That was somebody else. Mom once says, didn't Bill get shot in the shoulder during this? Well, Bill gets he gets caught by the Greys.
You're so dumb to think we don't know what you've been doing. Come out, Sheriff. It's over.
Cloudy says, Cyberpunk 2077 was amazing. I even got the platinum. You should try it someday. Cloudy, it's just, you know, I play so many old games now. I don't think I could. I don't think I would.
You want us to come at? We'll come at.
Bill, guns on the ground now. Both of you, don't do it. You know we can't.
Mama one says that horse just took too much lead NyQuil. Well, yeah, I was a little sleepy. Micah says I could have sworn everyone was disappointed when Cyberpunk came out 4 years ago. Yeah, just it had so much hype, and it looked really good. But you know, yeah, it was an it was an unfinished game upon release, and I think it was the beginning of the end.
He was a good kid.
Well, how
We
the hell was I to know?
Let me see.
We were in a
They
golden
said
age of
itself
video
once
games, and I
before.
don't believe we are
We
in a
didn't
golden
like
age
us.
anymore.
We destroyed their
The
farm. Should I go
the
on?
proof will
Go
be
easy
for
on
me
him, Morgan. He was
Grand
out
Theft Auto
trying to
6.
find a lead, same as you,
which
same
is
as Josiah. All you
Probably
do is
it might be the
complain
most
when things
expensive
don't
game
work
ever
out,
produced.
except when it's your goddamn
Grand
fault.
You
That-
don't know what you're talking about. You don't give a damn about
Auto
nobody but yourself.
6
Oh, you
budget.
act so high and mighty, but you're no better than the rest of us. I've
Yeah,
ridden
it's
with you
$2
boys
billion.
close on what, 6 months now?
And all you ever
right
done
now,
was complain.
currently.
You can fight, but you can't think.
And
Do either.
Okay, cowpoke.
Bill, take the boys' body.
yeah, that's a lot of money, and I don't think that money is going into.
Just you and I don't speak for a moment.
I don't
I'm
think that
just
money is
so
going to the
frightened by
developers and
Get
the
out of my
people
sight. Pair of
who
fools.
designed the game. I think it's going into the board and to the executives and the people who market the game.
Sean has been killed.
See, Arthur writes in his
Head
journal,
shot half off
but
in an
it's not.
ambush.
There's no affection
Still
for
no
Sean.
Confederate gold. But a shitload of trouble.
Sam says, I don't like how Bill follows in lockstep behind Micah after they get to chapter 6. Well, Bill is a follower. And Papa One says, I was surprised to find out Bill got kicked out of the army. He would have been a great soldier. He just follows orders. You can see Bill's dishonorable discharge letter in his tent, Papa One, and it alludes to a don't ask, don't tell moment. I forget what they say, but yeah. B-Dub says, weird how it's not a golden age when graphics are so good. Do you really think modern video games graphics are good, B-Dub? Or do you think they've gone downhill compared to this game, which is not a modern game anymore? Micah, I agree. 2011 to 2020 was a golden age for video games. And Papa One says, and his orders in following Dutch's orders. Games get released unfinished. They kill you with microtransactions. And they're not living, they're just like modern CGI compared to like Lord of the Rings. Half the, with half the memory. Why is it so much better? I'll tell you why. It's because everybody got laid off or fired during COVID. And they've got like a new crop of designers who are cheaper, less talented, and lazier. And we just wanted to bring this horse back so we could tell Clay and Clive that there are no hard feelings because the fence is finally open again. Papa One says, really, I've never seen that. I will have to look in that tonight in Clements Point. Is this available in every camp or just a certain one? No, it's in every camp, I believe. But I know exactly where it is in chapter 2, but wherever his tent is, just look on a crate. It's Bill's discharge letter. Mama One says, do you have the Legend of the East Satchel in this? Indeed we do, Mama One. And Sam says, even after playing Red Dead 1, I find it hard to believe that Javier wanted to follow Dutch. Well, it's the old Dutch charm, I believe. Miko says, yeah, I've been seeing news on newly released video games that have issues. And then again, they keep trying to make video games for an audience on Twitter that complains a lot, but doesn't even play video games. And they alienate their customer base that actually does play their video game. Chasing a mythical new audience that doesn't really exist outside of Twitter.
Who's your friend? They for sale.
How about this beauty?
Mom once says, did you do everything for it, or is it just a save file? No, we always do everything, Mama One. I love getting the Legend of the East Satchel. It's one of my favorite things to do. Sometimes I'll load up an old save if I've got like a free afternoon and just get it. You know, it is probably my favorite thing to do for some reason. It's fun to do the hunting. It's so satisfying. It's so satisfying to get, you know, to like have Mr. Pearson craft all of them all at once. Also, I really believe that the satchels should have been done by the trapper. I don't believe it is in Mr. Pearson's skill set to craft satchels. Especially a satchel that's infinite, like Hermione's bag, where you can carry 99 of everything. Where did he come up with the technology? What technology is he using to be able to do that? It's a legitimate question. You know, he's bending time and space, and he just doesn't seem to have the requisite skill set. Whereas the trapper can move instantly across the map, so he does actually seem to be able to craft a satchel that can hold an infinite or near infinite amount of virtually everything in the game. Papa once says, Sam, it happens all the time. In the Marines, we would have great guys in our squad who would follow an officer in anything they wanted just because the officer saved their life. And Mom once says, can we get a stream series on getting the Legend of the East? Maybe after we finish this one, Mama One. Remind me when we finish chapter 6. And we'll just start over in chapter 2 and get the Legend of the East and take our time because it is fun. Mom One says, I've only bought them in the epilogue. Yeah, that's no fun, Mama One. You have to make them. Mom One says, I have so many guides on crafting the Legend of the East Satchel with maps and strategies, everything you need to do. And Mom One says, I do craft the valuable satchel immediately. I like to do them all at once. Just like collect, and then, you know, just click through. Mom One says, I personally think the valuable satchel is the best looking, followed by the Legend of the East. I love that satchel. It's the first thing I do.
Here, boy. Here, boy. Whose dog is this? Whose dog?
Well. Where did he come from?
I don't know. He just wandered in. Hi, my friend. Hi.
Well, then he's ours, I guess. For now.
Aww.
And for some reason, we looped around. Yeah, we can do it in chapter 2. And Mom One says, are we going to do a bad honor epilogue? I'd like to hear other characters talk about low honor Arthur after he died. I haven't decided yet, Mama One. Depends on how well this does. No, you can. I do it as soon as we finish hunting the bear and opening the stables. That, my friends, is about all I have for you tonight. I appreciate all of you. Shout out to the mods. Odog, sorry if I upset you. I certainly didn't mean to. And you're right. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just rattling on. You shouldn't really listen to me, but I appreciate you, friend, and thanks for being here. Mama One and Papa One and David. Great talking to you, Sam and Micah. We shall return tomorrow, and Mr. Maddie. Miko, of course. We shall return tomorrow night with the LA Noir live playthrough. I still have to edit that video, get rid of the naughty bits. Thank you, friends. Feel free to hang out, like and subscribe. I'll keep this stream going, and for a little bit. We made it to Friday. Enjoy your weekend. See you soon, friends.